Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek live stream, Sunday night coffee talk. So let's see what we've got going on here in the comments, and then we can get started. Let's see. I see Carrie was first, pulling up the boat to the stream. Hey, Rocky Mountain Girl, nice to see you. And Sharon. Let's see. Lots of back and forth hello on the chatting. Just Jason Keto, good evening, and more. So I know other people will join us. Hey, Rickwin, good to see you tonight. But we can talk a little bit more about the coffee, but we can go ahead and get it started brewing just to get us going. Oh, hey, Renee, good evening. And then we can talk about it later. You know, we're used to the V60. And yeah, thanks, Carrie. I saw that you said some history about it. It just smells so nice. Hey, Hungry Heath, good to see you tonight. So, but I've just got the V60. It's a 3 grind on my coffee. And so we're going to go ahead and bloom it. You know, I've got a little divot right in the middle of my grounds. And I'm just going to put just enough coffee in here to get the grounds wet. Put that back on to hold the temperature. It is a hot brew for the coffee at the, so, you know, boiling temperature, and so we're just gonna let that sit for a minute, and then we'll top the water off and let it steep, and then we can brew. Hey, oh, for your enjoyment. I don't know why I got tongue-tied on that for a second, because I say it all the time, and I love it. So let's see. So Hungry Heath, I know that you have the day off now on Sundays. What are you guys all doing for your meal? So I know several people made the pot pies last night for the people who are subscriptive members to the Hungry Heath channel. Let us know how they all came out for you, because I've been making them periodically and they're really good. Oh, Carrie says, why did the coffee taste like dirt? It was just recently ground. So while I let this bloom here for like another 30 seconds or so, tonight we're cheating. And I thought that since this came in the keto crate, this is the Duncan Hines blueberry muffin mix, that we should make them. And oh, okay, and Hungry He says they're having leftovers from the Friday night feast. Nice. So let's see. So, but the reason I thought it was worth making these is because it's a very convenient food, you know, which is which are not things that we indulge in a ton here. So it is, and also a lot of the times these kind of premixes are total garbage. Oh, hey, Barrel the Gun. Oh yeah, that's right. My bears. It says beware of the bear. So, oh, and I'll explain that to you guys in a little bit as well. But we can talk about it. So, anyways, these, you know, and especially when you see a name like Duncan Hines, you think, oh great, they're on the bandwagon. Another garbage. But as it turned out, it only has one ingredient that's a little bit questionable. But I'll go through it again in case you didn't see the keto crate rundown. This one, it starts with almond flour. I'm sorry, Hungry Heath, because now this, you know, this is not a product for you, but it is interesting for people who can have almond flour. It's an almond flour based muffin, erythritol, coconut flour, allulose, inulin, blueberries, and then it says contains less than 2% of the leavenings sodium bicarbonate, sodium aluminum phosphate, gum acacia, salt, xanthan gum, stevia sweetener, stevioglycosides, and natural flavor. So inulin is the only questionable ingredient, and honestly it's in almost every chocolate product, chocolate bars, etc. It's a stabilizer, and it was used in a lot of keto products a few years ago, and then a very, very tiny percentage says that it will raise their insulin. I have not had that experience. It doesn't seem to bother me. I don't have any digestive issues or anything like that with inulin. So I'm just saying, pretty good. And it will tell you on the top of the package, it tells you that it's 5 grams dietary fiber, which would be coming from the almond flour, a little teeny bit from the inulin, and so the almonds are what are providing the fiber. Then it has 5 grams of erythritol and 5 grams of allulose. That's where they're coming with 3 net carbs. I would say that for me, I tend to just deal with the fact that it's a total carb is a total carb. One muffin is 18 grams total carbs. However, even some pretty hardcore total carbers I know kind of look the other way on allulose. And that is because you cannot digest it, and there is zero absorption, and you urinate it out. So up to you where you do. I would at least leave the fiber in there from the almonds, but it's up to you. And Carrie says if he made muffins, he would use the pork rinds. Yeah, the pork rinds crumbs. But it was clean enough, and I was just so surprised that this came from a muffin mix by a Duncan Hines, that I really felt that we should give it a fair chance. Because a lot of times we get because we are very interested in our products, that we immediately say like, nope, General Mills, Duncan Hines, Betty Crocker, forget them, because they are just marketing and taking advantage. But honestly, if I immediately dismiss a product because of the brand, then I definitely need to immediately throw away, right out of consideration, an awful lot of keto brands, because their ingredients are a lot worse. So that's why I decided to continue. It's time. It's time. And then I'll get back to the muffins again, but let's talk about this coffee. Tonight I have a Mexican Chiapas by Ramble Coffee. Ramble Coffee is a local Columbus small brewery, a coffee roaster. And I forgot my little stir here. Let me dig in here for a little spoon of some sort. So you do, just to give it a quick, to help the fines settle and to help with that. There we go. One stir one way, one stir the other way. And then we'll just let that sit and brew for about 4 minutes. So anyways, let's see what we got here. Okay, Carrie is talking about the Muffin Man, and Carrie says he thinks that the best coffee is Chiapas. I will say that I am very fond. It is one of my favorite roasts, my favorite beans. The Chiapas comes from the Chiapas region in Mexico. I know, shocking, right? But it is considered to be one of the better beans in the world. So there is that, and we'll talk more about it. I want to continue about these muffins because I think I have a scissors to open this. I do. Let's take a look at it. It smells very cake-like. And you know, muffins are just sad cupcakes. So, alright, so let me toss this to the side. And then let me tell you something here. I will tell you that one of the bad things on this is that it tells you that you will need 1/3 cup canola oil, 4 large eggs, and 1 tablespoon of water. I'm not using canola oil. Hey, good evening. Gigi's here. Good to see you tonight. So, I did think about the fact that cake mixes and muffin mixes by commercial brands were designed to be rather foolproof and very flexible. So, I decided that that means that I can make personal changes for myself. I did keep 1/3 cup. For my 1/3 cup, I've mixed half and half of melted and cooled butter. Well, by cooled I mean brought to room temperature, and half avocado oil. So that is what I chose for my fat, and I did that because before I had my celiac diagnosis and before I knew anything about keto, I was quite the proficient baker. And periodically, cake mixes did come in handy, but one of the things that you did was you used butter and also you increased the eggs. Now tonight I am not increasing the eggs. I'm leaving it 4 large eggs. And I just felt, because I felt like we should do that. You guys, I don't know if I'll be able to, if you'll be able to see it on the camera, but the dried blueberries in this are actually fairly substantial. So that's also where some of the fiber carbs are coming from. So, you know, it's not exactly chintzy. There's quite a lot of them, and they're not super tiny and shriveled. They're actually pretty good sized. Well, you can't see, oh, you sort of can see it on my hand. So I'm not exactly complaining. And if I give it a shake, it brings even more of those blueberries to the top. It's generous. So let me go ahead and add this fat in there. And it says, by the way, like a lot of muffin mixes make a dozen muffins. This one says it makes 9. I'm okay with that. So my fat, the mix, my 4 eggs. Oh, I broke one of the yolks. Not that it matters, it has to break in there anyways. Oh no, I almost turned my dishwasher on and it's empty in there. And then the last add-in that it requires is 1 tablespoon of water. I use filtered water, by the way, from the fridge. I highly recommend that even when you bake, that you do use filtered water and not stuff from the sink. It tends to help make a better product out of the mix. Let's see. And Barely Begun shares with us the useless fact that cake mixes started without needing eggs and or oil, but people felt better about the final product if they had to add something. Correct. And that was part of what I was saying about earlier when I said that they're meant to be very highly flexible. So all kinds of things you can do. Set my trash out of the way so we're not looking at it. And then just like your regular, any of your cake mixes, we're going to give it a light little mix. And we're going to drop the plunger and let my coffee go. Oh, look at that. So, let's see. Oh, air fry and Auntie, our awesome moderators, by the way, Attila and Shauna are both here now. So we've got that going for us. We'll be safe from our from those spammers or whatever we call them today. I don't know if it has a different name on YouTube, but you guys, you know what I'm talking about. Don't ever click on links unless it's from Shauna or Attila or the Warden, because I just left the moderated privileges on for the Warden. I figured it was that way they can drop links when we need them. So as far as it goes, so far it was very easy to mix. It has a good consistency. I am absolutely not sad by the fact that it has such a generous blueberries. So let this sit for a second. I'm going to look a little bit more. I'm going to And in case you were wondering, I did use a 3 grind on the beans for the Mexican Chiapas. So the other thing about the Chiapas is that it's a light roast. When they bring the green beans, they're generally done in a light roast. So you won't ever find French roast Chiapas. If you do, I would maybe question that, because one of the lovely things about Chiapas is that it is such a nice gentle flavor that it lends itself to the light roast process. A little bit more too about the Ramble Coffee, since I mentioned that they were from here in Columbus, a local roaster. So they are also, the other thing about them is they were started by a couple named Joe and Sarah, and they are small batch roasters. So if you don't know about small batch roasting means that they do their recipes in 50 pounds or less. So and Keto Simple says light roast has more caffeine, right? And actually, no, that's not true. It depends very much on the beans, and to some extent, the roasting can change the impact of the caffeine, but it does not always. It doesn't necessarily change the caffeine through the roasting process. The caffeine, like Robusto beans, will always have more caffeine. It's in the nature of the bean. So there are also sometimes additives that bring more caffeine forward, but the beans themselves, not necessarily. A Chiapas regional bean, they are all about the same, and yeah. Oh no, Carrie, you're fine. You're fine. Keto Simple was saying that the Starbucks is so over roasted they have no caffeine left, but you can definitely, there is caffeine in the Arabica beans from Starbucks, and some light roast. So the light roast is just the temperature they use to roast the bean. So it's questionable. It changes the caffeine, doesn't necessarily reduce it. So it changes the effectiveness of the caffeine. So I guess in a way, you can say it's not that it has less caffeine, but the caffeine is less effective. Does that make more sense? I don't know if it does or not. Anyways, we'll talk some more about it as we go. Let's drop these in. I'm going to turn on my my little air fryer oven on the bake. Now, that's the other thing. Glad I didn't chuck it in the trash and just set it aside here. It does say in your oven to preheat to 375 and then to bake it between 18 and 21 minutes. Now, when you go into convection, you remember that you need to lower your temperature by 25 degrees. So I'm going to put mine on bake and, let's see, 350. And I'm going to go ahead and put 18 minutes, but we'll have to watch it and just see where we want to take it out at. Starbucks tastes bitter and burnt because they use too high of a temperature for the brewing. They're actually technically not over roasted, but they are over. They do have way too much. They use way too high of a temperature, and some of that is consumer based. Let me just roll this around and get me a little bit more going. There we go. I used enough coffee to make myself 3 cups, you know, because 3 cups is only 6 ounces. And so we're going a little more. But yeah, so, and I will say, you're correct. Starbucks coffee does not taste as delightful as a lot of other coffee. So let's see how many muffins we're actually going to make. Got my scooper here. I've got my little silicone pan, so let's just start scooping it in. Try and get about the same amount. You can always flip it around as we want. Which, by the way, whenever you're doing baking for stuff like this, I do find that there's a benefit to letting it sit for a couple minutes. I figured if it's supposed to make 9, we'd go around the outside edges and then put it in the middle. I think I'm going to make 8 muffins, and one of them is going to be a little light. So there you go. I'm just telling you right now, I made 8 muffins. So already the carb count is going up. But they're not too far off in size. This one's maybe a little bigger. Let's, nope. There we go. In theory, I should have made 9. I made 8. And I got muffin mix on there. We'll say also, so they're going to be bigger, and so let's see. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. 18 total carbs. Let's do it. Let's see. Let's do some quick math. 18 times 9, as prepared, 162, divided by 8. So each of these muffins is going to be 20.25 total carbs. Again, that would still be quite lofty. It means that it is your full day of carbs. So you're definitely going to want to watch it. You probably don't want to eat the whole muffin. On the other hand, if you don't worry about erythritol or allulose, you know, it becomes manageable. I suggest eating half at a time. So, check it out. I'll bring the coffee up so you can see just how lovely it is. Look at that gorgeous color. It's a delightful cup. And I know I might be a little bit biased because Chiapas is literally my favorite. It is just utterly delightful. Oh yes. That's the stuff. So let's see. Carrie says also there's different colors of the seeds, so when you roast, for the difference to light and dark roast on the coffee. That's also true. Let's see. Oh, and Barely Begun says it's not really baking if you don't have to pull the box out of the garbage 3 times to double check the instruction. And my little beeper went, so we can put these in. Nice. Bring the cooling rack over now, because we'll be good for that. You guys, check it out. We're like almost tidied up. I just got a little plate here for when I'm ready to put my muffin out. We'll set this aside, put the plate here so everybody can see it. Let's see. Oh, Renee says her final shipment for kombucha supplies arrived today, so she'll be starting that either tomorrow or this next weekend, pending time and how you feel. I mean, don't you have surgery coming up? Take it easy. So yeah. And Lisa says she's thinking of making a cup right now. I vote yes. Of course. It's so nice. So that's the other thing about the Chiapas coffee, is it really has a range, a big one. It starts out with that heavy, almost chocolatey, nutty sort of flavor, and then it finishes on the back end where it almost gets like flowery, or I think they use the word floral in coffee tasting. So I will tell you that Chiapas is lower in acid than a lot of coffees, but also at the same time, at the end, it does have kind of like a bit of a bright acidity to it. But tasting a bright acidity is different from heavy acid tasting coffee. So I hope that you in your tasting kind of know like the difference, but you should know that it's a very gentle finish. So that's been great. Gosh, it's just really delightful. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Carrie says back when he was drinking the coffee for Chiapas, he would put it through the French press and it made a strong coffee. It can't. Yeah, it does. It is delightfully strong, but the taste it's strong, but it's gentle. Whereas like if you want to talk about the Starbucks, that is strong, but it is also bitter. So there's a couple different things there that causes that, but you know, there's a difference because it tastes good. I'm a fan of tasting good. I agree with our friend Auntie, who says we're not accepting anything bad that will happen to Renee. So yep, and I agree. It's unacceptable to me, so nothing bad is allowed to happen. I command it so. Let's see, what else do we got tonight? I know it's weird because I just didn't, you know what, I was tired and distracted, so I had a really great day. Hey, Carrie says anything is better than Starbucks. You know what, I'm going to tell you, there's one thing that's not, that Starbucks is better than Folgers. Folgers is the worst. And you know what, I didn't even realize it was the worst until I did the blind tasting and how bad it really tasted. Oh my God, Folgers is so bad. Look, I'm going to have, in a couple months, I'm going to get like a letter from Folgers saying that I have to stop saying their name in public. Not really, but like, man, it tastes bad. It's not good. So I will also say that I felt TikTok validated today. I was screwing around and I was just watching little clips, and there is a TikTok that is an Italian who has moved to the United States and married an American, and she makes him go to like all the crazy places and tell us what he thinks about it from the Italian perspective. Now listen, I don't hate Waffle House. I like to go there and eat eggs. And I've said repeatedly, I think their coffee tastes good. And now I feel validated because that Italian man took a big slug and said, the coffee is good. What did I say? So, oh, and Sharon's smoked wings are done. I'm excited. Oh, and Air Fried Annie says she was really happy when she talked her mom out of Folgers coffee. Nice. Oh, Hungry Heath, you fell asleep. That's okay. You know what? Sometimes when we are tired, that's just what you have to do. Where's the warden? So, let's see. Barely Begun says he's seen some of that Italian guy trying cinnamon toast and he was furious that he liked it and then would get diabetes. I know, that's true. That was pretty funny. I saw that one too. That was great. And Renee says she loves Waffle House coffee. It reminds me of her dad's strong coffee and it sticks to your ribs. And Carrie says he wants to see the Italian man go to Starbucks. So they've had Starbucks and he universally agrees that it is terrible. So just taking a peek. I know they're not ready. They look very muffiny. I'm just saying. I'm going to be very surprised if they taste great. But now I will say that I tried that chocolate King Arthur's stuff. But I'm just going to say I don't know. It was good. It was okay. But I didn't try the yellow cake mix yet. I would like to, but it just has not been in the cards. But I will say that the ingredients on that were not horrible, but these were even less horrible. So I'll be I'm going to be hard to please on blueberry muffin too, because my very favorite used to be the Nush cakes, which were a flax meal based cake. And I don't know, man, they were good. I am really sad that they went out of business, but also probably for the best because you don't want to necessarily have too many cakes. Oh, Carrie says he saw the Italian man when his wife tried to break the noodles. Their reaction was priceless. I love that one too. Not just the Italian guy, but they have that Albert can cook. But also there's like a couple of Italian guys on there, and they're hilarious. But they always duet with other cooks, and they're very hilarious about the breaking of the pasta, which, you know, is a thing you're not supposed to do. That I always do because, honestly, it's just easier. And Air Fried Annie says the blueberry muffins I just did was Duncan Hines. Yes, Duncan Hines. Let me bring the box up again, and I'll just show it up here so you guys can see it. Check it out. And it came in the keto crate, so I haven't looked up to see what they would be like in the grocery. Mostly because I think that I don't want to be going and just buying them all the time. I think this is like a one-time event. Maybe I would get a box and make them for Keto Palooza or something like that, where, you know, we're all being a little bit more adventurous than usual. But even then, I don't know if I would, because we're kind of already going to have a lot of extravagance there. So, but like I said, their ingredients were not bad, and I will tell you, we looked at all of the Betty Crocker stuff and we're like ready, and through, that was utter trash, just terrible. So I'm surprised. Let's see. Barely Begun says he is counting his cash winnings. What cash winnings? I missed something somewhere. Oh, and Hungry Heath says the warden is playing with her kefir, and Rikuin says someone on YouTube was calling their kefir their pets. I don't know what's happening, but my dog is choking in the other room. Okay, he seems fine now. I don't know. Getting into something. Or actually, he's getting really elderly, and so he's starting to get something that happens to Pomeranians as they age, is that their tracheas, they get a cough because their tracheas slowly begin to collapse. And so eventually what he'll have is like some doggy lozenges that he'll have to eat. So let's see. Oh, Barely Begun was betting on how many times I would have to pull the box out of the sink. So I can stop now, so because you won. Has it been 3 times or only 2? Oh, it might be 3. Well, it just makes me want to get it one more time, but now I don't have a reason to. Oh yeah, and Carrie mentions the time that the Italian man's wife messed up the espresso, and he like lost his mind. That was funny too. I just love them. I think they are hilarious. Oh, and Renee says, sounds like such a big sound for the little guy. Sounds like a laryngeal spasm. I mean, that's basically kind of what it is. And he is on in years, and so I think I've talked about it before, but maybe I don't know. But Dyson was a bait and switch rescue. I went to when I was going to get a dog, I actually went to get an older, well-trained dog from a rescue, and the fosters that had the dog said, "Oh, we decided to keep him after I had went through all the process to get the dog." And then they were like, "But we have this little poof who was a rescue from a puppy mill, so that's not good." And when we got him, because he was oh, my muffins. They're looking very dark, but not cooked. I'm going to turn the temperature down. Maybe. Let me think about this for a minute. Nope. I'm sorry, I gotta mess with this. They're getting too dark on top, but they're definitely not done. So now we know. Let me think on that for a minute. We'll give them a preheat cycle. I'll keep an eye on it. They look dark. I don't know if I should try to put a tin foil or what, but I don't know if that'll work out. Anyway, so he was a rescue. He was not the dog that I was supposed to come home with, and basically from like almost the top of his back all the way down to his feet, he had like almost no fur. So of course I was I lost track. I'm reading the comment at the same time as I'm trying to talk, and it's not working. Renee says there's a technique to calm that by just gently holding fingers around the trachea, right around the hoid, and eventually the gag spasm will calm. Yeah, we do. Sometimes I give him his rubs here, but He's all in the other room right now, and he's doing. Like I said, it is also just something that happens to Pomeranians as they age, and he's got arthritis, the whole 9 yard. Yeah, and Rickman is saying I could cover the muffins to stop them from getting browner. The only problem is that it's convection in there, so I would actually have to get in there and wrap it around to get it to cover. And on top of that, yeah, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on them. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. There's nothing we can do, and honestly, that's a good test to it. So, at any rate, what was it? Oh, I was talking about Dyson. So he had no hair. I had to put like special salve on him, and then he had to wear like little pajamas. So he used to have like little pink thermals that he had to wear, and so it was kind of ridiculous, but it was so also stinkingly adorable. And they actually thought that he was going to have to wear his pajamas and clothes forever, and that his fur would not recover. But as you guys have seen, when he does wander through, his fur recovered. To which the vet says probably because of how that we got him early enough that we treated him and did all the things we were supposed to, that he was just very lucky. So yeah, he didn't come in here today. He's had a long day. He was very sad because we went out for a beautiful hike. Not a hard hike, actually. It's more like a path walk, but it was in the park, so I'm going to go with a hike. I took some pictures. It was the Deer Haven Park, which is one of our rescues. Oh, Air Frying Annie is saying she's wondering if she could just add pickle juice to her regular Franks. I don't know. So let's see. Oh, and Renee says that sounds like it would be good, but the sauce, the pickle Franks has herbs and an intense flavor. I don't know, guys. Let me poke them with a toothpick. Don't look in my messy cabinet. Well, yeah, better not to look in there. Oh. All right, the toothpick is coming out clean. They just feel spongy. So maybe that's going to be our first texture issue. Let's let them sit here for a minute. Burn my fingers. Hot. There we go. All right, so we've got muffins. They are very, very, very soft. Let me get a knife to unmold them from the silicone. So, yes, they are quite dark, but no, they're not burnt. They smell very blueberry muffiny. Hot. They're like right on that borderline, so sometimes almond flour comes out dark too, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. As they sit here, they seem to be firming up, so maybe I could have taken them out a minute or so sooner. But they're super soft, which may also be because of the gum in there. Oops. Oh, I tore the top off, you guys. That's the one we'll have to eat because I tore it. So, all right, so 8 instead of 9 muffins. And we'll let that cool before I continue touching and burning it. So let's let this sit for a minute. I'll bring it so you can see. And like I said, unfortunately, they did get a little dark, but it's not burnt. You can see just like a couple of the blueberry spots are dark, but overall it looks fine. It's hot with the coffee, so. This is a blackberry polar seltzer, in case you're wondering what I'm having for a beverage this evening. Let me get a clean knife for butter spreading. All right, so anyways, let's see, where was I? Let's see, that was about the sauce having the herbs. Shauna says she'll have to order it. I'll see if we've got it here. If we do, yeah, Sharon said she'd grab you some, so maybe we could just wrap it up real well into your suitcase at Keto Palooza. Oh, Carrie says it was only 91 today for him where he is in Texas. No triple digits. Woohoo! And you had rain. Let's see. Oh, the warden says they cleaned out their AC unit today. It was really dirty inside. So, good thing that you have a shop vac and got all the coils and stuff. So, let's see. Air Fry Nanny says she might have to have a keto chow blueberry pancakes and pork belly. That sounds fantastic. Let's see. Okay, some back and forth a little bit. Oh, you know what? I didn't try that natural cola. Hang on. Let's do it. Let's just make this a crazy wild night. If my stomach is going to get a stomach ache, may as well be legit, right? It's been in the fridge since we checked it out. Supernatural natural soda, 0 sugar, and it is very cold. I don't know. Do I want to open it? Not really. Oh, Renee's asking what my favorite polar flavor is. Ooh. You know what? It's the seasonal flavor where they have that ginger. Oh my gosh, it's really good. All right. Okay, I can touch this now. Let's cut it open. I'll use the knife that I was going to use to touch my butter. Well, that's all right. Okay. One of the blueberries fell out. I'll just tuck it right back on there into the hole. So I do think that it looks a little bit moist. Sorry, Renee. And then here's the other side. That's the blueberry that fell out that I tucked back in. So there's plenty of blueberry. I will say, it does feel like an awful lot of carbs for a very small muffin. I think it was like ginger apple or something like that. I can't remember for sure, but that was my very favorite. It was good. It is good. So, I mean, let's find out. I feel like I should probably taste it. Let me get some butter here. That's too much butter. That feels like a wrong thing to say, too much butter. But it's a small muffin, so, and we're only going to eat half. I'm going to taste it first, just as is. So, it's not light and fluffy. It is very, it tastes good, but it's definitely not light and fluffy. It is very much, you definitely taste that it is an almond flour muffin. But it doesn't taste bad. I would maybe like something not so sweet. It's pretty sweet. In fact, now I am going to dip in and get extra butter to kind of like savory it up a little. No complaint. And Barely Begun is asking how it compares to the King Arthur cake mix. I would say better than the King Arthur cake mix. I would rather eat this than the chocolate cake. But I cannot deny that the King Arthur cake mix had a better texture, and that this is definitely very liquid forward. I don't know what the right word is. It's definitely, but I don't want to give the impression that it's bad. It's actually quite nice and passable. The butter makes it great. Oh, and for a regular flavor, I would definitely say the cranberry, but I don't mind the flavored seltzers, and I think a lot of them are not as, you know, I think seltzers are just, you know, they're meh. But also I've been very thirsty today. I'm also, as you can tell, really scattered tonight. Whew, crazy. I'm all over the place. So I started telling you about Dyson and him being a rescue pup and all kinds of stuff like that. So then I started telling you about our walk. It was great. It's one of these days I'll try and take the camera and film. I've got butter on my hand. There we go. So I'll be interested in seeing how one of these is tomorrow morning. Like, I might save that and have that. Oh, and Air Fried Annie is asking if a sparkling water and seltzer are the same. And the answer to that is pretty much yes. But what we did was we went out to Deer Haven Park. They are a park, a nature reserve park, and they do some rehab of injured animals. So they've got a little tiny museum. I don't know if museum's the right word, but inside where they've got like turtles and frogs and stuff like that. And then outside they have predatory birds that they are rehabbing. So they had a couple different falcons today, and they were really groovy. So, and then what we did was we took a trail that we hadn't walked before, and we walked and wound up in an area where we had to go down some stairs and then up some more stairs. Then we were like, hey, look at this trail over there. Do we want to go for some more, or do we want to just go back to the car? And instead we decided to do the more, but it turned out to be a lot more. So by the end we're like, yeah, I'm definitely ready to go home. But near the door of the museum they had a tank, and we were trying to see what was in it, and I finally found it. It was an albino milk snake in the tank, and it was hidden behind the little log. And so I know a lot of people don't love snakes, but I love snakes. I just love them. They're so cute. But it was hiding, so I couldn't really get to a good look at it. I think that some of the turtles, because they just open at noon, were ready to get fed, because as we walked through and we're looking at them, they got like super active and were like swimming to the surface. So I think like probably shortly after opening, they probably get fed, because they were like, hey, where's my food? Swim, swim, swim. And like in the tanks where they had more than one, the turtles were like shoving each other to get to the surface. So I definitely felt like that was probably feeding time. Renee says she slept super late today. The body needed it. Going to look at a few houses tomorrow morning and a hair appointment in the afternoon. Can I just tell you, I am dying for my hair appointment, but I am waiting until right before Keto Palooza. And even then, it's still going to look kind of odd, because what I decided to do was I want to grow out the top to like chin length and just have the undercut. But this is getting, the shave part is grown out, and it just drives me batty. I don't like it. So, and of course now, and the top is kind of funny looking, but that's just going to be for a while, a good year or so while it grows out. I don't mind that so much. It can look funny there, but where it should be shaved and it's getting length to it, that part I don't love. Like, I would go get it shaved this week if I didn't want to wait and have it done right before I go to Louisville. So, but and Renee says she's, oh, you know, you got a lot going on though, so it makes sense that sometimes you just need some extra sleep. Oh, and Renee says her side shave is so long right now, she usually gets a 1/2 blade. So because I'm growing it out and I don't want it to look at, I mean, it already looks kind of weird because it gets very disconnected. I've been doing it at a 1.5. So, but yeah, we usually keep it at the 1/2 when it's a regular shave. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm gonna keep it at the 1.5 and just get it done more frequently, because also the little bit of trimming that they do to keep it as shaped up as they can to help me grow it out, I think is good for my hair. Oh, I'll also say, like, my hair right now is really looking good. It's got like a nice shiny to it, and it's feeling thick and soft. So I appreciate that. All right, let's do it. I'm putting it off. Carrie says he can't do anything with his hair being bald. Being bald is a look, though. Is it naturally all bald, or do you have to shave it? It didn't open right, you guys. How annoying. Hope I don't cut my finger. There we go. I don't know. It smells like lime, which is good since it's lemon lime. And it doesn't have that pledge smell, so that's a good thing. Too much sweetener. It's the stevia. Oh, it's too much stevia because it tastes like licorice. Lime with licorice is not the combo. Nope. No. I'll even give it a second chance. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Absolute no. So these sodas are the ones that come in the keto crate. Oh, it's bad. Hang on a second. Anyway, so these come in the keto crate. They're super natural soda, zero sugar. This one is the lemon lime. They've sent us several flavors in the keto crate. Oh, it's disgusting. It's 11 grams of erythritol, so it's 11 total carbs. It's carbonated water, erythritol, citric acid, natural flavor, stevia, and monk fruit. Manufactured for Keto Bear Incorporated, Voorhees, New Jersey. And here it says 0 calories, no aftertaste, which is a lie. No artificial preservatives, no aspartame, no sucralose, keto. I'm just saying, this is a lie, because even after slugging my coffee there, I still taste licorice. No, absolutely not. Someone else can finish it. Or it can go down the sink. It's bad. It's bad. I don't like it. I'm sure some people do like it, but not me. I'll have to complain about it some more, though, because, yes, absolutely not. So, all right. The texture of the muffin has gotten better as it sat, so maybe it just needed some cooling time. Air Fry Nanny says it sounds like it would work on my sink. You know, it didn't taste like that. It was just really so much the stevia taste. That licorice is the wrong, it's wrong. Renee says, might be good to get the bugs off your car. Maybe the cola flavor. So, I don't know, but it's definitely not for me. But this half a muffin is for me, and I'm not sad about that. And Hungry Geese says, can I use the rest of the can as a marinade, or is it really awful? I will just say, nope, I ain't going to do it. I don't like it, and therefore I try not to use things in marinades that I don't like, because I often feel that it comes through in the marinade. And it is like a hyper sweet. I'm just like, nope. And Air Fry Nanny says there was licorice in the lemon lime flavor. It's the stevia. You know how stevia tastes like black licorice? I mean, to be fair, maybe it's not actually that bad. But you guys, you know I have a black licorice aversion. I just no can do. I don't like it. I don't like stevia. I avoid it where I can. There's stevia in the muffins, but I don't taste it, so I'm okay with that. Renee says when she worked at a gas station, folks bought Coke to get live bugs off their car grills and windshield. Yeah, there is something about Coca-Cola that I've seen that, like when they throw it, they pour it in the toilet, the really nasty toilets to clean them. Crazy. So I don't know if anybody, I don't know, also moderator Tilla, if you want to come down and taste this soda, and you don't have to come on the camera if you don't want to, you can do it from back over there, and then you could just say what you think if you want. It's a thing that could happen. Not that it has to. You don't have to come taste these things, you know. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Here, taste it. Oh, and Air Fry Nanny says that's weird because she loves black licorice but doesn't care for liquid stevia, just in Lily's chocolate. So, yep. Oh, and Carrie says that the Coke can also clean batteries. Ah, yeah. Oh, that gives me that little thought. I have to, just in case, I'm just going to move this off. So, but yeah, so I have to replace the battery for my FJ Cruiser. The battery is at its end of life. But you guys, $300 for the battery. So you won't be on the camera right there.
Or should I come on the camera and give you a proper face?
Nah, you can go ahead and just drink it there. It's fine. Hey, Sparkly Susan, nice to see you. We're almost about to wrap it up. So Attila's drinking the soda. I'm looking for a face. He's not making a face. So maybe it's just me.
It's not awful, but it's not like, you know, anything you need to run out and buy anytime soon.
You might want to speak louder, but that's fine. It's good. So, in case you couldn't hear him, he said it's not awful, but it's not something we want. Oh, Renee says you should come on camera. Awesome moderator, super amazing tech guy.
See, I offered, and she said no.
You need to come down because it's Maitreya sized.
Okay.
So just kneel down a little bit. Anyways, all right, you're good. You don't have to be that one. You can get it. These are shenanigans in this household. Anyways, so.
All right, I'll just head down the stairs.
All right, get out. Now look what you did. You scared the dog. So, yeah, that was our cat Valius.
But you could hand me a muffin.
Here, have this half.
Okay.
They're good. They're good. The muffins are good. Sharon says hi. Lots of people saying hello.
Okay.
Anyways, oh, well, never mind. We're good. Anyways, it's 7:28. Anything else you guys want to talk about or ask about? Because I believe we're gonna, I'm gonna end the stream, finish my couple bites here of the muffin. Dyson's gonna freak out. I don't know why. So, oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry, barely begun. The answer is 4. This is the Duncan Hines keto-friendly blueberry muffin mix, where I had gone over and said, shockingly, the ingredients are not bad. The ingredients are fine. I keep leaning on my dishwasher and turning it on. The ingredients are not bad, however, it is a lot of total carbs. So that's what we made tonight. And the answer is they definitely taste like almond flour, but entirely tasty. And no different than any keto name brand top product. So Duncan Hines did something right. Who would have guessed? All right, good night everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.